booktubing world. It is I, Capri Nicole, and I'm back with another video. I have 3 stacks of books. And the funny thing about this video is the fact that I used to be one of those people that just said, oh, I'll never buy more books than the books that I'm going to read. Potentially, when I read, I usually just buy the book that I want to read and then read it, or I'll buy a series in bulk. But I've never quite done this. So this video is actually my first book haul. I didn't expect it to be this large, but I went in Barnes & Noble and I ended up just looking around and I saw so many books that I wanted, and I just had so much time and I just wanted to spend all the money. I'm going to have a little chat about them. As my love for reading expands and grows to new heights, I ended up here. And I've bought these over the course of the past month. I'm just trying to avoid Barnes & Noble altogether because this book haul is going to be very, very long. I think 2 of them or 3 of them or so I've already read. We're going to start off this video with the first book, The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I actually already read this book. I read it in the beginning of February, so I already finished it. This book follows the group of forgotten people, like kind of like just the people in the background of the stories. They're just like the extras, the people that just, like, you know, you run past them or you sit next to them in graduation, just, but they're not the chosen one. They're not the one with the special powers or the one that caused the apocalypse or is saving the world. They're just normal teenagers dealing with everyday real life stuff. I really like this book. It was just really interesting to see that the indie kids, all of the indie kids are kind of like in the background, like, oh, they're saving the world, oh, they're fighting, you know, crime, or they're fighting off people, like, we're dealing with this. My next book that I recently purchased and still has that new book smell is Because You Love to Hate Me by various authors. It appears that this book is about villains, and I freaking love villains. I'm usually the one that falls for the bad guy. Like, I love villains. I love hearing their side of the story. I love their attitudes, their sass, their character, their demeanor. Like, I just love villains. I love them. And it's like interesting to hear their side of the story. So apparently this includes booktubers that are helping co-write the villain side of various stories, which I'm extremely excited to read. I have high expectations for this book. Not too high because I don't want to fall too hard, but I'm pretty excited for this book. Speaking of my love for villains, I have another villain book here, and it is Mistress of All Evil. And this book follows Maleficent and the... Oh, look at that cover. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, I just love peeling covers and then finding hidden things. Like, that's like the best surprise ever. So this book follows Maleficent and her side of the story. It's not just all shits and giggles and butterflies and bubbles. This is going to be very interesting. Again, I love villains. I'm pretty excited to read this because I did watch her movie and I love the movie. I'm not sure if it's the same or similar, but I'm pretty excited about this book too. Switching it up with my next book is The Skin I'm In by Sharon G. Flake. I actually read this book already when I was in grade school. I don't remember much of it, but I remember it making me feel beautiful and powerful and amazing at such a young age. So I just wanted to reread and dip and dive a little bit into like old books that I've read before as a child and had a big impact on my life. So I want to read this book just to make me feel as awesome as I did before. This one follows a character, Malika, who gets made fun of a lot because she is a darker complexion. She ends up getting a teacher that has a skin disorder or something around that basis, and she's really confident and she's really, you know, just out there, and she doesn't care what other people think about her or say about her, and it empowers her and makes her feel beautiful too. So this is a pretty uplifting book, and I'm pretty excited about this one too. The next book I have here is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I've never read one of her books, but I just finished this one, I want to say 2 days ago. It follows a character named Simon Snow, who is considered the chosen one, but he's not the average chosen one because he's not super amazing with his powers. He's kind of clueless, he's kind of clumsy, he's not, you know, he's not really used to it. It's just like, it follows him, and he goes to a magical school similar to Hogwarts, and He has his arch nemesis Baz, who also goes to school there and just follows them. My next book is Everything is Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book actually, I'm assuming, came out a while because there's already a movie out for it. I swore I was going to go see the movie, but I actually didn't end up doing it. I wanted to have my own copy as well, so I ended up buying this one. I don't really like when they redo the covers and they put it as the movie for the cover, so I preferred this one, and this is the one that I got. This book follows a teenage girl who is allergic to pretty much everything and has to stay in the house and never leaves the house. So all her life she's been in the house, trapped there. This boy ends up moving next door, and I think this is going to just be a YA novel of them falling in love. I'm sure a lot of you have already read this book or have already seen the movie, so you know the gist of it, and I'm pretty excited for this one. Hopefully it's not too cheesy, because Lord knows how I feel about cheesy romance books. I can't deal with it, so hopefully it's not too bad. Switching it up with my next book, this is actually not a book, it's a journal, and it's for couples. I bought this for me and my boyfriend. He was all for it. A question a day for you and me. It's pretty much like random questions that you both answer, and this book actually lasts 3 years. You go back answering the same questions within the following year. So I was pretty excited about this. It's different, it's fun. We have our little, alone time at the end of the night where we answer these questions together. My next book is Let's Talk About Love by Claire Kahn. This is actually a debut novel. I've already read this book. I flew through this book. It was super sweet. It was light. It was interesting. I learned a lot from this book. It follows a character by the name of Alice, who is asexual and ends up breaking up with her current girlfriend. While she's working at the library, she ends up meeting this guy, being attracted to him in a way that she's not used to. So this follows their love story and everything that's going on with her, because she's getting into college. She's like a struggling young adult, like we all are, 20-something, trying to figure out what she's doing in life and where she's trying to go, what she wants to go to school for, and stuff like that. God, there's so many books. I can't even take myself seriously. I have no idea how long this video is. I hope it's not too long. Please, God. My next book. Oh my God, it has a sticker on it. Let me just woosah. I'm gonna have to peel this off because I can't. Oh my God, I don't know how I didn't notice that. I hate and it's not a normal sticker. It's I think it's gonna leave behind the adhesive. Oh no. I do not like this at all. Oh, burn, die. Anyway, like I was saying, now that wretched sticker is gone, my next book in this book haul is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I've never read a book by her. I've heard a lot of booktubers rave and rant and go crazy about her and specifically this book. So I'm pretty interested to read about this. I'm hoping he's not a bad guy, but if he's a little, on the spooky side, I'm okay with that too. So it follows a main character named Jude, whose parents were murdered by fairy species, and there's a large divide between this fairy species and human species. They do not get along, they do not like each other, but she ends up being in a situation where she's in the high court, so it sounds pretty interesting. I'm excited to see who this Cruel Prince is, though. I'm pretty excited about this book. I don't really know much about it, other than, oh my God, look at the cover. Look at it. Yee! I live for these. Like, just give me life. These two books I don't really know much about. I actually went on a cruise with my family, and my boyfriend was out on the main deck, and he ran into this book author who writes adult novels, and he was telling her like how much I love reading. She actually had books with her, and I met her, and she was pretty cool. She told me about her books. I met her co-author, who actually helped her with writing this book, and it was very interesting to speak with them. I don't typically read that many adult steamy romance books, but I'm still pretty excited to read these because she was pretty cool, and these books were only $10, so I was very happy because I'm used to spending like $20 on a hardcover at Barnes & Noble. So Front Porches and Funerals and Omerta, the Dulce Family, Book 1. Both of these are by K.A. Ware. This one's co-written with Cora Kimball. Interested to see if I'm going to enjoy them. Okay, next book is not a book, it is a cookbook. And if any of you personally know me, you know that I grew up not liking to cook, knowing nothing about cooking, and up until I became a vegetarian 4 years ago, I never had recipes, had knowledge of cooking or anything like that. I started buying recipe books just so I can practice my cooking, and I actually am doing pretty well. And now that I am no longer a vegetarian, I actually just ended my vegetarianism the beginning of this year. I'm dipping and diving into other recipes, and I've seen these recipes all over Facebook. I've made a few of them for house parties, and I could never eat any of them because they always had meat in them. But I ended up getting their recipe book, and I'm pretty excited to try these recipes. We're getting there. Almost done. This is, oh, got a freaking sticker on it, man. I'm sick of the stickers. Burn. Okay, so this is actually another cookbook. It was on sale at Barnes & Noble. It has some beautiful pictures in here. This is actually a healthy cookbook. I'm trying to get back in shape, and there's nothing wrong with trying new recipes and stuff like that. My next book is the book I was most excited about buying. Freaking Harry Potter book with the pictures in it, man. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Oh, look at the pictures. This book is a gem. It's very beautiful, and I have no regrets on the money I spent for this book, and I plan on buying the other ones as well. So this one is the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets book. It has all of the beautiful pictures. Internal screaming. These are amazing. How can you not, like, can you? Oh, my soul is ready. Super excited to read this book, as you can see, and everyone who knows what the hell Harry Potter is about, so I don't have to even explain myself, and if you don't know, find out. The next book I have is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I'm sure most of you were forced to read this as children in middle school, high school, and sometimes in elementary. I've already read this book before, but I don't remember it. I hate when teachers used to force us to read, and this is one of the books we were forced to read, so I remember very little about this book. It actually is a classic, so I want to give it a chance. So I'm going to reread it, and we're going to just go from there. I'm sure most of you already know what this book is about. Originally, when I bought this book, I bought the wrong book. I bought a book that said I Kill a Mockingbird. I don't even know what that was about, but it was in the same area, so I thought I grabbed the right book, and I didn't. I had to return it and get the correct book, which is this one. The next book I have is Meet Cute. I've seen a lot of booktubers talk about this book, and I think it's adorable. It's a whole bunch of short stories of how two people meet and fall in love and all that jazz. And the cover is adorable. So I don't think it's going to be too sappy. I think it's going to be pretty cute. It doesn't look like it's going to be too long either. The next book I have is a book that almost every YouTuber has been talking about. The Bells. Pretty freaking excited about this book, not gonna lie, and the cover is giving me life. Brown girl magic. So this book pretty much follows a character by the name of Camilla, or Camilla, one of those. It's in a world where people are born gray, they have no type of beautiful features or anything like that, and there's these women that have the power to give them beauty. That's her job, and all of her sisters' jobs, they're all bells, but she wants to be a high bell, who works in like the castle and deals with the queen and all that other stuff. So she wants to go over there, and then she finds out there's some twisted stuff going on up in there. So we are gonna follow her. It's gonna be exciting. I really want to read this book, but it's huge, so I'm trying to read my smaller books first before I get into this one. It's pretty anticipated. It's pretty high up there on my list. I hope it does not disappoint. The next book I have is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I saw this book in a few booktubers videos, and I was kind of interested in it because a lot of them said there was this huge plot twist, and well, not plot twist, but there was this huge shocker, and you were just like, what happened? So this book pretty much follows a group of family and friends that vacation at a private island. Something goes wrong, and it's a suspense book, and I don't have too many suspense novels, so I'm interested in diving into this genre, and hopefully I have a good experience, because sometimes when a book is highly anticipated and highly rated, I'm on that bandwagon that really does not enjoy the book. So I'm hoping this is not the case with this book. This book is actually the third book to the Grisha trilogy, and I did not know. I thought this was the first book, so I can't really talk much about this because I can't read the synopsis because I have no idea what happened in the first book. I thought this book was the first one. But this is one of the books in my book haul. Got the third book of a trilogy, not the first one. Oops. No regrets. Hopefully I like the series because I'm going to get the first book so I can test it out, and then if I like it, then I just have to get the second one. And my final book for this book haul is Everything Here is Beautiful by Mira T. Lee. Okay, so this book was interesting to me. I read the synopsis and it was different. I didn't really see too many people talking about this book. A lot of the books that I picked up were books that I've seen people read or that I was interested in that they were talking about. And I like the cover because I love butterflies. This book follows two sisters, and I believe that one of them is mentally ill and her other sister is trying to help her and try to, you know, make her better and save her and all this stuff. And I think this is just their story of what happens and what's going on with them. And I think it's really different from what I usually read. I don't think I have any books dealing with anyone with mental illnesses. Hopefully I don't cry. I feel like this is going to be one that's going to make me cry. And it's my final book in my book haul. How many books is this? All these books bought in 1 month. I'm proud of my books. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's not too long because I have so many long videos to edit and I'm so over it. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time. Bye.